Hello, everyone. Welcome to the special edition of Fit Talk with Coach Luis. And let's get this started. It's for International Women's Day, and I have my good little friend Harlow who's going to give us the intro. So, Harlow, tell them what we're going to do.
My name is Harlow. I hope you enjoy this episode for International Women's Day.
And hello, and welcome to another episode. And today is a very special episode because I am talking to Tennil Beuerlein, and we're talking about strong women in general. Being that this is International Women's Day, we have a really nice event planned out, and she was nice enough to join us and talk about her journey, how things have changed. And just in case you didn't know, little background, she is a 3 times CrossFit Games athlete. She was 2017 fittest woman in the US, and she's a mother of 2 lovely kids and a wife to an incredibly supportive husband. So, I mean, honestly, do I need to say any more? Honestly, welcome to the show, Tennil. I really appreciate it. I'm excited to have you here and share your story with us. Like I said, on this amazing International Women's Day. So, thank you for being on the show.
Yeah, I'm so glad that I was able to. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. Thanks for taking time off, and like you have a really busy schedule with the kids and everything else going on and the training and
So true.
yeah, the little episode we just talked about. So I'm glad you still made it work. So definitely a trooper. Thank you. So
hmm
so okay, so before we start, I want to take a little step back, before all these things that have happened with your amazing athletic career. Could you give us some bit of your backstory? Things like where you grew up, your day in and day out?
Yeah, all right. I grew up in Kingman, Arizona. Um, and then I went to college in St. George, to Dixie State. And then I did my last year up in Orem, and I graduated up there, at Utah Valley University. And then after that, I ran cross country in college, and then I played a little bit of rugby as well. Crazy.
Oh, nice.
And then I got accepted into a doctorate program for physical therapy in Arizona. And I came back and I did that for 3 years, in Glendale.
Okay.
And then I graduated from that in 2013, and it was around then, well, maybe a year before I graduated, that I started getting into CrossFit. Actually, it was in 2013, so it was the same year I graduated. And then, I just got so into it, and my parents thought I was a little crazy for not pursuing what I had just gone to school for so many years.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt like I loved this, and I just really wanted to do it. So, and now I met my husband doing CrossFit at a gym, and then we got married, and now like you said, I have 2 kiddos and just loving life over here.
Absolutely. So I completely understand that, how a parent could be like, okay, wait a minute, you're not gonna, pursue your career that you went to school for, and
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna. So what drove you to that? What drove you to being into that world? And then let's start with that. What drove you to that then?
What drove me to the CrossFit world?
Yeah, what drove you to do that versus following your actually your
Well,
doctorate?
I really loved physical therapy, and that's what I got my doctorate in. But I started doing CrossFit and just for fun with my friends. And then I started doing local competitions, and I just was able to like win a little bit of money here and there. And I obviously needed that because I was in a doctorate program, and that's expensive. So I was making a little bit of money doing it. And then I just kind of got like better and better and better at it. And I started just to like fall more and more in love with it. And pretty soon my passion for it became stronger than what I felt for physical therapy. And my coach wanted me to put everything I had into it. And it was really becoming difficult to do both. So when I graduated from school, I decided to, go straight into CrossFit and put everything I had into it. And it was definitely a scary thing to do, but it just felt in my heart like the right thing to do, even though, and my parents were such troopers. Like, I can totally see why they were like, whoa. But they literally in one lunch, like, had a little freak out and then totally supported me by the end of it. And, and that's what I love about my parents. They've always supported me in everything I want to do. And with their, blessing, I was all in.
Yeah. That's all so great. Whenever you have family like that, we have that support from the close family. That really makes such a big difference and such a big impact. So then,
Totally.
yeah. So what were some of your struggles that you would deal with along the way to, I guess, the more you started to get into it, what kind of struggles did you have?
Well, I first started off at a CrossFit gym called Urban Warfit, and I didn't really have a coach then. The owner of the gym would coach us and give me workouts, but other than that, like, I just was doing what I was doing from, myself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then I found this gym called OPEX, and I went and met with one of the coaches there. And, I basically said to him, I'm like, why should I choose you to be my coach?
Yep.
And he was like, he said something like, well, I've done this and this, but I didn't choose that because of anything he said. It just felt right.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so glad I did, because he changed things for me. He helped me work on my weaknesses, and heaven knows there was a lot of those. And
Absolutely. Yeah.
after working on those, it made me such a better athlete, like, just all around, and
Mm-hmm.
close those little gaps that I needed and help make me, the athlete that I ended up being.
Yeah. And I mean, and I love OPEX. I think their training module is amazing. So OPEX, thank you for what you guys do. You gave us another amazing athlete, so thank you. And
Yeah,
and it's true, because from what you said, you started right around 2013, and then here you are, what, only 4 years later, 2017, and you've already fittest woman in the U.S. That's a big leap. So they obviously know what they're doing, and then obviously your dedication too is a huge part of
mm-hmm.
it as well. So with that, I guess, what were your typical training days like when you would be getting ready for like the games?
Well, over a year, it goes up and down depending on the time of year. But right before the games, I would probably be in the gym for like 8 hours a day doing different workouts and prepping myself for different things. And when I wasn't in the gym, I was either eating, sleeping, or doing some kind of recovery
Mm-hmm.
exercise. And, I lived it. I was so deep in it that that's all I saw. Like, my whole life was dedicated to that.
Yeah. And
Except, I would say probably not. I mean, you really have to literally drink the Kool-Aid. But I would say, out of a lot of people, I was probably the most that I could see. Obviously, I didn't know, because a lot of people didn't have families, but I had a daughter and a husband that required a lot of attention as well.
absolutely.
So I spent my off time recovering, talking with them, doing, like, I could do recovery stuff with them, like I could go on hikes with them. They would come to the gym with me. Like, my daughter would come to the gym with me all the time and watch me do stuff. And I don't know. I just made it work. Like now I think about it and I'm like, oh my gosh, like how did I do that? But you just, if you've got a goal, you go for it and nothing stops you.
Yeah, absolutely. And it all goes back again to having that support from that close circle, because if
Mm-hmm.
it's already as difficult as it is to do the training, the 8 hour days, and then the constantly the eating and the resting and the sleeping, and then you don't have that support, that would be
Mm-hmm.
so much more stressful to where it would almost be impossible.
Oh yeah. When I met Tyler, like, and it was like a game changer. He supported me and he changed it for me. Because of him, I was able to put even more into it.
Hmm. Absolutely.
So I am like 100% on board with that. Family is everything.
Absolutely is. It really is. So then, how would you what would you rank as your top three favorite things during those times? Was it winning the regionals, which we all love and miss dearly, and
Hmm.
or was it the crowd, or just the rush of being able to participate?
Oh man, if I have to be completely honest, like I loved and hated competing like so much. Like the rush of it would make me so excited, and I loved, like, from a small girl, I just always just loved like winning.
Yeah.
I don't it sounds funny, but like I've always been so competitive, and if I don't win, inside I'm just like dying,
Yeah.
you know?
Mhm.
And so competing for me, I get so nervous inside, but then when the time would start, like all that would just disappear, and all I could see was just like the task before me, and you just have to go, and like no matter what, like it doesn't even matter what happens. You fall, you hit your head, anything, like you get a no rep, it doesn't matter. Like you just see the finish line and you just go.
It's so true. I was able to participate this last 2 weekends ago at the Waterpalooza for the first time, and
Hmm.
did did the strong event. It was my first time ever doing it, and that's exactly the same feeling. Like you said, it kind of everything just goes away. It's just you and the task in front of you, and that's all
Hmm.
you see. That's all you know, and that's it. And you're absolutely right. Like I tore up my hand a little bit with the pull
Hmm.
up, and I had no idea until it was over.
Yeah,
And that's all.
exactly.
You don't think about anything else but finishing. And then if you do good or bad, it doesn't matter. You're like, well, there's another event coming up, so that one that's in the past, forget it, move forward. So it's
Yep.
very, very, very true. So, so those are kind of like the emotions that would go through your mind. Then so what about afterwards, like post games, lights out, crowds gone? What type of emotional transitions would you go through then?
um you know when the competition is over and I get to go home, I feel like as long as I did the best that I possibly could, that doesn't mean I had to win. It means that I literally gave it everything I had, and I either won or someone was just simply better than me. As
Hmm.
long as I didn't make any stupid mistakes, or I know in my heart if I let up at all, and if I know that I gave it everything, I can go home and I literally can be happy about what I did.
Yeah.
And then being able to spend time with my husband afterwards is just like the cherry on top.
That's awesome. I love that. I really do. I like that. That's a very honest and genuine from the heart answer that the you're taking it for what it is. It is an important part of your life, but it's not the most important part of your life. Like
No, definitely not.
is family, and that's how it should be. So thank you
Mhm.
for sharing that. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So, and like now, obviously you still train hard. We see you when
Mhm.
you're doing your trainings and everything, but now with that gorgeous new family member, you have to adjust to your training, of course. So,
Mhm.
how has that progression gone for you up till now?
I'll tell you what, it's ever changing because Boston is constantly changing. Like before, when he was just a little guy, I would take him to the gym in his carrier, and I'd hook him up on the rig and just kind of like swing him or bounce him a little bit in between my sets, or in the middle of my workout. I would just kind of set up my stuff near him so I could keep pushing him. But now he doesn't like to sit in that thing. So today I brought one of those little things he can sit in and kind of like scoot around. So that seems to be working now. So it's a challenge, but honestly, like, I love a new challenge.
Yeah. It seems to be in your nature.
Yeah. If it's too easy, it's boring, kind of thing.
Absolutely. I can completely agree with that.
We're figuring it out. Right now, like I told you earlier, when he's taking naps, I do my running. I go outside and I ran 3 miles every day this week in the morning. And then once he wakes up, we get ready and we go to the gym, and I play with him at the gym, and then I get my workout in. It's not as like intense as before, like I've softened up a little bit. I guess you could say, like, I'm not so, I don't know, because my focus is all on him, like he's my number one. So my stuff kind of just gets filled in the cracks, but I do get it done.
Right.
I don't let it not happen. Like, I get it done, but he always comes first. So
absolutely, your priorities have changed, and that's definitely how how that's what works for you, and that's how it should be.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have it any other way. I feel like to be the best mom I can be, that's the way it has to be. And if that means that I can't be as good of an athlete, then that's what it means. Like, I'm not going to let him suffer at all, but I'm going to give it everything I have to be the best I can be,
Absolutely. And again, he's seeing all this from a young age, and he'll continue to see it too. So regardless, you're still being an amazing role model, both of you are, for your kids, to see that hard work and family, those are the two things that you can continue to work on always. It doesn't matter what part you are in your life, you can always continue to do better and still juggle different things that come your way.
Yes, exactly.
So how has your coach been helping you now with the adjustment and the changes?
Well, right.
It's the same coach? That's just
what?
Right. It's the same coach?
No, I don't have my coach that I went to the games with anymore. He suddenly quit and moved on because of personal things in his own life. Totally sucked. I was like so upset about it.
Yeah.
Because he was like, I don't know, he's your coach. Like,
Of course, yeah.
I go to him about so many things. So then I started putting my own workouts together because I've done this for so long. I kind of know what to do. But I also have a couple people at OPEX that I go to for advice, and they give me workouts sometimes. And I have really good people to fall back on.
Yeah, that's good. You have a good community there. Awesome. I like that. So what would you say overall is your motivation to do what you continue to do?
Well, I think you touched on it a little bit. My motivation is to be a really good mom and great like role model and example for my son and my daughter. I want them to see that you have to work hard to get what you want. And the biggest message I want to send to them is that they can accomplish anything they want to accomplish if they put their mind to it. And I mean, I would say that's my number one motivation. And my second motivation is I want to be strong and successful and someone that, you know, they can look up to and that my husband wants to be proud of. And, you know, and I have my own personal goals. I love to be in shape. I love to feel fit. I love to be able to just go climb a mountain if I want to, you know? So I don't know. I do still have goals to do things in CrossFit, you know? I just taken one step at a time.
Absolutely.
Still coming back from this little guy, so I have lots of things in mind, but I don't like to get ahead of myself.
Yeah, one step at a time for sure. That's the way to do it. So, what message on this very important day for International Women's Day? What message would you want to send out to all the ladies listening in today?
You know, I think just that. Sorry, my daughter just came in.
Oh, it's okay. She can say hi.
Yeah, hi, Taya. No, I would just say that, you know, that you can do anything that you want to do. No one can tell you that you can't, because you're ultimately in control of whatever it is that you want to do. And even if you feel like there's things that are slowing you down, you can accomplish anything. I truly believe that. My dad told me that when I was a very young girl, and I still remember him saying it to me to this day. And I think it stuck with me because I always refer back to it when I'm feeling like something feels impossible. Mm-hmm. I always remember what he said, and he was right. We can do whatever we want to do.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I love that last little piece, that final thought that you gave out to them, is you can do anything you want to do. That's very, very good. So again, Tennil, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule and joining us for this very, very special day.
Yeah, no problem. I enjoyed it.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. And all right, everyone, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode as well, and we will see you again soon.
Thanks for checking out Fit Talk with Coach Luis. Remember to follow us on social media, on Instagram at Live2Progress and on Twitter at Live2Progress. Stay tuned for more episodes of Fit Talk with Coach Luis coming soon. And remember, always live to progress.